So say I'm using cash as at 3.5%, and I've put in 20,000, for example. What that means basically is that I'm going to get £770 annually, tax-free, without doing anything. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, if you have few thousands or tens of thousands of pounds sitting in your bank account doing nothing, then you're wasting loads of money. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can harness your savings, whether you save the money for a particular project or you save the funds for your emergency fund, how that savings in your bank account can generate you passive income monthly. That's what I'm going to share with you in this video. Trust me, you don't want to have so much money sitting in your bank account for months, for years, without you making extra income from those savings. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the different ways you can put your money to work to generate you passive income. And as you can see on the screen, these are the top high interest yielding savings accounts that you can leverage on if you don't want to push your money into investments. These are the high, interest savings accounts we've got here in the United Kingdom, where you can put your money into use and you've got direct access and quick access to your funds without having to go through any long-term process. So if you're someone who has tens of thousands of pounds in your bank account and you're clueless on what to do with our funds to generate extra income, then you definitely want to stick to this video till the end. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do to hit on the subscribe button to join the Amazing Growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. One of the biggest financial mistakes I made in the UK was having loads of money saved in my savings account with my bank for years. I mean, since I moved into the UK, my day one, I'd started planning towards, savings towards buying my first property. And for years, I mean, between 2021 till I bought my first house in 2024, I had all of my funds saved in my bank account, yielding zero interest. And that was one of the biggest mistakes I had made, when it comes to like my finances. And I've had chats with so many of my friends who've got few tens of thousands of pounds saved in the bank account, and they're asking, Daniel, how can I make extra income? How can this money work for me? And I'm going to share with you the different ways, depending on what you have that fund saved for. If you've got this fund saved for a project happening very soon, that is, you can't commit that funds to a long-term savings, then there's a different route for you. However, if you've got some funds saved and you don't have any need for that funds in the next couple of years and you want to be generating passive income from those funds, then there are different options available. Now, the first way to make your money work for you is to push the money into an high interest savings account here in the UK. Now, the sad truth is that for those who have their money saved, so for example, I had money saved in one of the mainstream banks in the UK, and for close to 3 years, I never got a single penny from that fund I saved in that bank account. And when I was ready to buy my house, I just spent the exact same amount of money to buy the property without making any income from that money. If I had known what I know today, that funds would have been placed into one of the high interest savings accounts that would have generated me income. Now, these are the top, high savings accounts in the UK at the moment. We've got Chase. For new accounts, you get 4.5% interest on that fund. So imagine how much you will generate passively if you have some funds saved in that account. For Cheap, you get 4.32. For Ulster Bank, which is part of NatWest, you get 4.5. And for Plum Easy Access, you get 8.34%. Now, the fascinating thing about this savings account is that you can access your money anytime. If you need the funds tomorrow, you can get access to it and then use it for whatever you want to use the money for, which is a very positive thing when it comes to having your money saved within the interest savings account. One of the most my personal most preferred high interest savings account is with Revolut Bank. Now, with Revolut Bank, at the time I'm making this video, today is 22nd of October 2025. As of today, you get a 3.5% interest on your savings with Revolut Bank. £20,000, for example, saved in my bank account. So it means that if I decide to put these funds in Revolut Bank, in one of their high interest savings accounts, what that means basically is that I can get 3.5% annually, and the good thing is that you get paid on a daily basis. So this is what happens if I have 3.5% from that account and I've got £20,000 saved, for example. What that means that in a whole year I'm going to get £700 without me stressing out. And if you get these funds on a on a monthly basis, that's divided by 12, then it means that I'm getting £58 from that account without me doing anything, practically nothing. Do you get what I mean? Now, one thing you need to put in mind is that for savings accounts, you get taxed. However, if you decide to push the same funds to your ISA account, it's a tax-free account. So personally, I use Trading 212 for my cash ISA. If you can put your funds in your cash ISA, as of this morning, cash ISA for Trading 212, you get about 3.85%, and which is tax-free. So if I decide to do cash ISA and say 3.85% for cash ISA, it means that if I should put in, so one thing you need to note to put in mind is that for cash ISA, you can only put maximum of £20,000. So say I'm using cash ISA 3.5%, and I've put in 20,000, for example. What that means basically is that I'm going to get £770 annually, tax-free, without doing anything, which is practically some people's weekly earning, which you're going to get without doing anything. That's your money generating additional funds for you. Now, if I decide to get this monthly, and I divide this by 12, it means I'm getting £64 monthly without doing practically nothing. That's my funds, generating passive income for me without me having to worry about anything. So yeah, if you want to get your cash ISA open, you can actually leverage on that. Now, aside from the high interest yield, high interest savings account, another way to make extra income is to make use of the government or the corporate bonds. Now, this means basically you lend money to the government or company for interest, and sometimes you get a return of about 5 to 8% per year. Now, the pros of this particular low medium risk is that it's a predictable income, which is a good thing. It's relatively safe, especially the government bond. Now, the cons is that it's a fixed income. You may lose value if sold before maturity. So if you have funds that you're using very soon or you plan to use very soon, please don't put those funds in the government or corporate bond, because it can only be put in for a fixed period of time, and if you decide to bring your money out, you might lose some funds. So these are only you can only leverage on this if you don't need the funds for a while, basically. Now, another way to make extra income from your funds or savings is to make leverage on the dividend paying stocks or ETF. Now, this is also a medium risk, and you get to buy shares of companies that pay regular dividend. I've got one, and on or very often I just get an alert saying, "Oh, I've just earned this amount of money from my stock." So you can leverage on that. I use Trading 212 for that also. You get a return of about 3 to 8% in dividend annually, and also the pro of this is that it's a passive income and there's a potential for it to grow. I recently checked my stock and shares account a few days ago, and I mean, when I started this stock and share account, it used to be on the negative, and I was surprised to see yesterday that it has grown to about 10% interest from that account. So, but the cons is that it's there's a market risk and the stock price fluctuates. So when I bought the stock last year, the amount after a couple of months, it went down. I mean, massively down. I think it was about minus 17% or thereabouts. I lost a whole lot of money, and I just left it. And I mean, it's an investment that you put in for a long time. It's not like the high interest whereby you make this amount every month. So I left it, and just yesterday I checked the account. I was like, okay, I'm now about 10% increase in profits, which is a cool thing. So, but it's a risk. So don't put your emergency funds in such an account. Don't put a fund that you're saving towards buying your property or whatever in that kind of account. Now, for those who are looking at buying their first property, I mean, your best bet is to make use of the lifetime ISA. And don't forget, for the lifetime ISA, you can only put funds that you're going to use for buying your first property or for retirement. Please don't put funds that you want to use for short-term projects in such an account. Now, the last one is the real estate investment. Now, I've got so many people who are thinking, oh, I want to buy a house, I want to get into real estate. If you don't have enough funds to buy a house, you can actually buy a share of companies that have multiple real estate businesses, if that makes sense. So it's more like a buy to let option, or those are different options for real estate buy to let if you have enough funds, or you make use of the real estate investment trust. Now, this REIT is you buying or investing in businesses that have multiple, real estate business, you'll probably earn about 5 to 10%, in annual interest. The pro is that they're tangible assets, and also there's a steady cash flow. Now, the cons is that it requires upfront capital, property management, and market downturn can affect returns. So it's capital intensive if you're buying the property yourself to do buy to let, and also there's a market downturn if the property you invested in goes down in value, which hardly happens. You also get to lose part of your funds. So these are like long-term wealth building option. So if you're someone who is trying to build wealth on a long term, not for short-term gain like the high interest savings or the cash ISA, if they're a long term, they want to leverage on the real estate investments. So please let me know if you have any question around investing. I'm also going to put a link in the description of this video. If you want to open your Revolut bank account, you can get I think about £60 on every referral, which is a whole lot of ways of making extra income too. So I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. Click on the link and then open a Revolut bank account, get your high interest savings opened, and start earning 3.5% on your savings without you having to do anything. And this interest is paid on a daily basis. If you have any question about this, please state in the comment section. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do it to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.